right, good morning. We have hatched out a bunch of chickens. Chickens are a vital part to our little homestead, and I will never be without chickens. I'll always have a few chickens because what they do for us in terms of providing food and helping us make compost is invaluable. Regardless of whether sometimes I don't really like them because they eat my winter garden. That just is what it is. That's just me needing to manage better and do better because a chicken's just trying to do what a chicken does. So last year, I do believe that, it was last year. My husband asked me he didn't ask me. I just told him, I said, look, this is what I want for my birthday. I don't ever ask for gifts most of the time. Usually if I want it, we just buy it. If we can afford it within reason. But for my birthday, I asked for a, incubator, cause I wanted to start hatching out chicken eggs. And we've done that a couple of times. I've hatched out ducks. I've hatched out, I think the ducks was our most successful hatch. And then we've hatched out quail eggs several times. But this is the first time that we've hatched out chicken eggs. I want fun colors in my flock. I started out with fun colors. I don't have as many fun colors anymore. I like the rainbow assortment of eggs. I'm not selling my eggs, so I'm not necessarily interested in chickens that are production so that I consistently have a supply for buyers. So I don't need that. I think that things can be, when you're on your homestead, some people just want utility and something that works and produces a whole lot. And I think you can also have that combined with the beauty of it all. Not that that can't be beautiful in its own right, but if you want some fun chickens that lay different color eggs, then get yourself some fun chickens that lay different color eggs. You don't have to have a whole bunch of them. You can have just a few of them. So I bought some French copper Morans. They lay very, very dark eggs. And then I bought some cream leg bars who lay a blue egg. I don't have any experience with either one of those breeds. When I was looking for chickens, they're like super pricey, and I wouldn't feel comfortable shipping day-old chicks in this type of weather that we've been having lately, which we just got finished with an ice storm, so don't want to do that. So I was looking for hatching eggs. Well, hatching eggs for like a dozen can be up to $90, $85. I feel like $75 was one of the cheapest ones that I found. I don't want to spend that much on chicken eggs, to be honest with you. I was willing to maybe, but I would have hesitated a whole lot longer, or try to find someone local that was going to have them. But I was true to fashion, getting impatient, and really was wanting some chicken eggs because I didn't want to feed them all summer long. I wanted chickens to hatch out and start laying in early summer, late spring. So I was searching around, and I actually found a chicken hatchery that is close by in Mississippi, and they just happened to be having a sale on their hatching eggs. I do know that I was taking a risk on that because of the time of year that it is. Maybe low fertility rates. I don't know, but they got great Google ratings, so that was cool. So I decided to take a chance because it was cheap. Like, I was able to get the chicken eggs for like $29. It was cheap compared to, I should say, what everything else was costing. So I took a chance and got some cream leg bar that lay blue eggs and the black copper Moran that lay the famous chocolate covered eggs. So I had 2 dozen chicken eggs. So that's 24. 19 of them hatched. On Instagram, I showed a video of me helping one of them hatch because it needed help. That is not recommended to help a chicken hatch. It's a process that the chicken needs to go through to build up strength and to be able to live a good life. But sometimes you need to intervene, and knowing when to intervene is a gut instinct and also comes with some experience. I have helped quail hatch before, so I knew that I could do it. But even if you are confident in doing it, you can still mess it up. So I can't tell you when to do it. I can't give you that advice because I think every situation is different, every person is different, and I'm just not that experienced with it. My rule of thumb is at 24 weeks, or sorry, not if it started hatching and 24 hours later it's not hatching and it's still alive, then I will intervene. But, and so I did that for one of them, and it's great. It's doing fantastic. It's nerve wracking. I'll insert a little bit of that clip there in here. Now, there is also another chicken that pipped, which is that makes that little crack in the egg. And 24 hours later, it was not hatched out. And it hadn't made any progress. And when I picked it up, it barely even moved. So I knew that it was dying. Because sometimes chicks will pip and crack through that eggshell and then they die. We don't know why. Sometimes things just die. I mean, it's just part of life is death. So what I want to do is show you what it looks like. And also, we're going to crack open very hesitantly, because I've done this before, the eggs that did not hatch, so that way you can see what it looks like. Because if you're like me, you're very curious as to what things look like when you can't see them. So first off, we're going to do the little egg. It's been several days, and I did keep them in the incubator for about 3 days longer than normal, just in case. But nothing hatched. And so I turned it off, and this is what the little egg looks like. See if we can, it's goopy. This is gonna be gross. This is what it looks like. You see its little beak. This is what it did, and it stayed that way for 24 hours. So I was very confident that it had passed, and it did pass, because when I picked it up, there was no movement later on in that day from when I first picked it up. So I chose not to help this one hatch because I felt like it wasn't going to live anyways. So okay, so hopefully you can see this and it's not blurry, because I can't do this again, but we're gonna start peeling away at the shell. Alright, I'm going to stop here for a second so you can really kind of see what it looks like inside the shell. So its little head, its little feet. It's neat to watch the position of the way that they come out of the shell. And looking at it, I don't see any reason. It looks fully developed. Sometimes they don't fully develop, and you can tell, but this one looks fully developed. So it just wasn't strong enough. So, and it's sad. It's also just part of life as well. We don't all make it. So, yeah, just from the look of it, it just wasn't strong enough. So you can see its little feet, its little wings, curled up, little head. Yeah, it just wasn't strong enough. That's all. There could have been something internal that we didn't see too, but it's fully developed, and that's what happens. And that's what it looks like when it's inside the egg as it's developing, guys. It's pretty neat. Okay, now to the gross part. I'm gonna go, there's really no point, I guess, in washing my hands, but I'm gonna go do something with my hands. It just makes me feel better. Well, I'm just gonna say that I did not hit start when it came to that egg. That egg was not developed. Do you see that? I just want you to know it's nasty. Nasty. Like, as in smelly nasty. Okay, this one developed, but for some reason never hatched. So it could have been positioned wrong in here. These blue eggs are I'm getting nauseous, guys. Yeah. Oh, this is kind of cool looking. I mean, it looks like it developed. It just never pipped. You see that? Yeah, it fully developed. It just never went to hatch. So look. So here's a cool thing. This right here is the yolk. You know, like in human babies. Let's see. Look at that. Right there. In human babies, the umbilical cord is attached to like the mother, and that's how they get their food. Their little umbilical cord is attached to the yolk, and they eat the yolk and consume the yolk as they're growing. So it's kind of neat to see that. But yeah, there's the little baby. Okay, well, it developed, but it never pipped, so I don't know why. You can still see some of the yolk attached to it. But again, that happens sometimes. Okay. Here's another one. Like I said, let's see if this one does the same thing. 24 eggs, and 1, 2, 3, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 5 of them did not hatch. I don't know what this is gonna look like. I'm nervous. Sorry. Okay, yeah. This one was not fertile, I think. This was the not fertile. Yeah, that was the not fertile egg. I mean, it just looks like a really bad egg, right? And that does not stink like the other one did. Ugh. I guess y'all are lucky y'all didn't see that. So, this is the famous French black copper Moran eggs. Aren't they beautiful? It's this beautiful color of chocolate, and I don't know that it's going to come through on screen. I could not tell as it was developing, or as the incubation was going on, if it was developing or not, because it's really hard to see through these shells. Gosh. So I don't know what's going to go on in here. if anything developed or not. I was really hoping this one would hatch. But I don't know. But out of all the eggs, when I candled them to see if anything was developing in there, only one I knew for sure was not fertile. So that's really good. Okay, this one doesn't look like it was fertile either, if you look at that. So, and it's just like a runny yolk. And it doesn't stink yet. It could have yeah, no, it didn't develop. So there's that. But yeah, so one egg was definitely rotten. So I think it started developing and then died. And you couldn't even tell like what kind of stage it was at. It was very early on. And then you have, this is the developed and never pipped. And then you see the little yolk. And then this one's it pipped and it fully developed. You can see that there. So yeah. And as they're pipping, it's actually really important to let them go through the process because they're still consuming the yolk and stuff that they need to have. Ugh. Okay, gross. Gonna go wash my hands and then clean myself up. And then this is a little baby chick. Well, I mean, obviously you can tell that, you know this. But we have a bunch of these guys that have hatched out. And so this is a cream leg bar. And the cool thing about a cream leg bar is that you can tell if it's a rooster or a hen from hatch because the coloration is different. So, and then this little guy is a rooster. I don't know if this is the one that I helped hatch or not because we have several of them that look just like this, and that's a good thing because it means that the little one is healthy. It just needed a little bit of assistance. But the one I helped out was a rooster. Didn't necessarily want a rooster, but I'm not going to kill a rooster as a baby chick like some places do. All roosters are on audition until they're not. So they all get a little chance to be a good rooster. Because that's really hard to find. So when you find a good rooster, you kind of hang on to them. So anyways, little chickie. They're adorable. Overall, it was a good hatch rate. I'm very happy with it. And I hope that you all found this video a little fascinating. I always find these things fascinating. So there you go. I'm going to put this one out there. I'm sure people are going to be like, ooh, gross. That's fine. You can think that too, because I think it's gross, but also fascinating. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.